I hope six directions. Yeah, I'm hopefully there's something have to transpire. 5 to 10 years, you know, like that. What I want, I want.
Everybody needs a everybody needs a
We do.
because
Push hard this couple of years. And not been there.
What's that? What did you do with him? I'm gonna test it.
That's the other thing too.
Turn on operation going on. Is it gonna be I'm just joking. Somebody's gonna ask that question.
Good providers on.
That'll come nice. You want to do some goals now? If they're not gonna do it.
Last night, certainly,
I also want to see it last.
2 towns.
yeah, they're how are you? Good. Good.
Good to see you again, Adam. Very nice to see you again, Chief. I am very good. How are you?
Yeah.
So, did you find a home for your... I saw the fire You'll get it. It's fine. I have faith.
Oh, yeah. Put your feet to the fire.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for running. That's a big job.
Oh, you need. He's just been trying and he's okay. Thanks, Chris.
Okay, I think we're ready. You guys ready? All right, I will call the meeting to order. We are here in Freeport Town Council chambers on Tuesday, October 24th at 6 p.m. for a special meeting number 24-23. And tonight we have with us Councilors Pillsbury, Councilor Fournier, Councilor Daniele, Councilor Bradley, here. Councilor Egan, here. And Chair Pilch is here, and Councilor Lawrence is excused tonight. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are only 2 items on our agenda tonight, and as long as nobody up here objects, we'll dispense with our typical information exchange, town manager, public comment. So seeing no objections, I'll proceed with a very, what might be a quick meeting. A quick but very important and consequential meeting, because our first order of business I'm very excited about. It's item 20623 to consider action relative to the appointment of a new town manager, which we're all very excited about. So we, as you probably have seen, we looked at over 100 candidates. We did several rounds of screening and interviews, and we met with several candidates. We had the candidates meet with some town staff. And luckily, it was a somewhat easy decision. I don't think there was a lot of debate. It was we kind of knew what we wanted, we found what we wanted, and luckily we were able to arrange for Sophie to come down from Orono to be our new town manager. So she starts, assuming that we approve our contract in a few minutes, she'll be starting December 4th as our permanent town manager. So with that, are there any questions or comments from the council before we get to the contract and get it done?
Did she sign the disclaimer?
No, we haven't told her about that yet. Seeing no comments, I would love to make a motion that says, be it ordered that Sophia L. Wilson be appointed Freeport's town manager, and be it further ordered that the employment agreement between Sophia L. Wilson and the town of Freeport dated October 24th, 2023 be approved.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Bradley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Welcome, Sophie.
Are we going to have remarks, or are we just going to let her?
I think now is the time. If you want to make welcoming remarks, feel free to do so.
I'm speaking for myself about the process. I thought that the town handled it thoroughly, competently, and we were blessed to have a number of candidates that would not have hurt this town, and one who will really help it. There was one question and answer that mattered most to me, and I'd just like to say it because I think it distinguished your application and your submissions and your interviews. It was when you were asked if there were a decision that you had thoroughly researched and been involved in and talked to staff about and done all your due diligence, and you had a point of view about what the town should do, and the council decided or suggested that it was going in a different direction. What would your reaction, how would you interact with the council? And the question really was, as I recall, close to this, would you say, here are the factors you should consider in making this decision, and it's your decision and you can go on and do it? Or would you say, this is my recommendation and I think this is what you should do? And your answer quickly was, I would make my recommendation and suggest this is what you should do. And I think in a way that's something that it's not been sorely lacking around here, but it's been missing. And I think that kind of leadership is something that this town will benefit from, and delighted to have you with us.
Thanks, Councilor Fournier.
Sophie, congratulations. You and I have been kicking around municipal government, me a little bit longer, but I also know that you'll bring strong leadership, good communication skills, and that's going to be welcomed here. So congratulations, and we're excited to have Freeport turn into the right direction and head down the highway. So welcome.
Thank you. Councilor Regan.
Welcome, Sophie, and I agree with the comments earlier that it actually wasn't that much of a difficult discernment process once we had our interviews in person, and so congratulations on wowing us and with your interview skills and your answers and your background and your experience. That's very much what we're looking forward to. I also want to highlight the past 6 months of really incredible leadership from Caroline Pelletier, who stepped into a big void rather quickly, and I don't know if we've had a steadier hand on the tiller of things going on, and not any shortage of ups and down events. So thank you for the perfect job as an interim to not overreach, not forget anything, keep us going straight ahead, focused on our short-term goals, and I really appreciated your leadership.
Thanks. It's been fun.
And it's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
We have another 6 weeks or so.
Another few weeks, but we're going to have someone by my side really soon. We're really excited to bring Sophia in. Staff's really excited to have her here. So we're ready.
And I'll clarify, because this is a question that I had early on in the process that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but officially, it's Sophia, but unless you're in trouble or or there's some other reason to use your full name, most people call you Sophie.
Yes.
So either is okay. Okay. With that, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you'd like to say a few things, you're more than welcome to step up at the podium and do that.
You have to tell her the
But
most important
yeah, the most
thing.
important thing
The
about
microphone-
making public
The
comment.
microphone doesn't need to be moved. It looks like it's in the wrong position, but it's not.
I think if I'm going to be over here for any length of time, we'll have to get a stool so I can.
We have a seat for you up here.
I just want to say thank you very much. From the time my application came in to the end of the process, it has been incredible. And I've just been taken by how thoughtful this council is and how much it respects its staff, its professional staff, and how much I've watched a couple council meetings and how you can disagree and move forward and be so respectful while you do it. And I am excited to come and be part of a team that has so much on its plate and so many really important things to move forward. You set the bar very high, though, in your press release, and I will work very hard to try to meet it. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sophie.
Welcome, Sophie.
I have no doubts that you'll meet that bar and exceed it. And there's no shortage of things for to work on while you're here. And also, I'd like to shout out to the staff, the ones who are here tonight, the ones who participated in the process. We kind of asked a lot of the department heads to take some time out and help us with the process and make sure that that there's some good cohesion likely to happen with the new town manager, which was important because, frankly, you spend a lot more time with the town manager than we do up here. So I appreciate that you were able to do that and spend the time. And also, I think I can speak for you that I've heard that the feedback from staff was also pretty universally positive about Sophie. So everybody's excited. So with that, one of the things that will soon be on your plate as town manager is a vacant piece of land that's next door to Town Hall that Councilor Bradley would like to talk about and see if we want to put on a future agenda item.
Brief introduction after the 22 Main Street project, which is a piece of property so up here between us and the fire department, which is open space that's owned by Mosier Furniture. And it was for sale, and it was for development use, and it was for a housing project that was part of what this town's downtown vision had focused on. A huge amount of information and response occurred, most of it negative, based on a group of people in the community who believed that it's the gateway to the town and that the project that was proposed would interfere with its vision, with its function. And there was just a series of decisions that were made, and ultimately the developer and the property owners walked away from one another. Amicably, I understand, if not happily. And the Mosiers, the property owners, were prepared to put the property back on the market. And at that point, a group of people in town, many of them people who had opposed the project, got together and went to the Mosiers thinking that if there was ever a time to capture this property for the community, it was now, before the Mosiers found another buyer to do something else that might be objectionable objectionable, or it might not know. Just no control. And the Mosers negotiated with that group, and that group came back with an offer from the Mosers to sell, and in theory and practice, an interest in taking up that offer, which was presented in executive session to the town council at its last meeting. And as a result of that very wide-ranging discussion, I guess it doesn't need to be an executive session any longer. I don't think there's no deal on the table. It's just it's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what the deal is, and I don't care if I do care. If I care deeply that I don't want to violate executive session, but I don't think there's anything in this that requires secrecy. The Mosers offered to sell the property to the town for $500,000. It had been on the market for $650,000. The developer had it, I think, for $630,000, something like that. So that was a discount off that market price, as we understood it, of let's say $130,000. The group of people who felt that it should be taken off the market and committed to public use, whatever that turned out to be, offered to raise $100,000 of that, leaving $400,000 purchase price for the town, which seemed like to be a very good price. Brought it to the council, who I had hoped would jump up and down with joy, was very thoughtful and considerate, and raised some questions about what's the purpose for it? What's worth $400,000? Is your idea the only idea out there? Are there other ideas that would compete for this? All good questions. As a result of that discussion, my understanding is we decided as a council to go into a process that would, have a public meeting, which would identify purposes for the use of that property that are now not on the table, but might be in the minds of people up here or people anywhere in town. I know there are some in both. And that would be done in quick fashion, out of respect for the Mosers' patience in keeping this offer alive. And then the second part of this would be if the council decided there were ideas for the purposes of that project that were exciting and interesting enough to spend the $400,000 on, and the group was still willing to raise the $400,000 for the purpose that was identified, that we would go forward to a purchase and sale, and then on and on and on until the town owned it. So on the agenda for tonight, if I've been reasonably accurate in describing the process, is the first step in that process, which is to hold that public meeting, to get the ideas from the community about how it might be used, to see whether they generate enough interest and excitement in the council to justify the council taking the next step. So all I'm here for is understanding, and I asked to get it on the agenda immediately out of respect for the Mosers, who, they've been through hell in this. I mean, hell's too big a word. It's been very uncomfortable for them as a big business in Freeport to go through this public scrutiny about something they thought was good, which turned out to be something other people didn't, and they now would like to get it beyond them. And if that means putting it on the market and getting rid of the property, selling the property that way, they'll do it that way. I think they'd far prefer to find a use, the town find a use to use it and resurrect that. So in front of us tonight is the affirmation of a decision I thought was made essentially without voting on it, but in principle at the executive session to go forward with a public meeting to generate and encourage ideas for the use of the property, and to do that as quickly as possible. So I move that we move to schedule a public meeting on or before November 15th, 2020, what's today, 3. So quickly hold a public meeting. Before Thanksgiving is really what I'm trying to do, so that we don't lose the Mosers. That's all. I mean, I would do it in 3 months if I didn't think the Mosers had a legitimate reason and interest in putting the property on the market. And I know they're listening to this meeting. And Aaron, thank you for the forbearance and the ability and willingness to think about our process. And I hope you understand what the councilors are feeling. They want to give a full opportunity for this property to get all the ideas that it can generate, and respect your interests in selling it and moving on. I hope you can be patient with us as we go through our process.
So
I'll shut up.
No, I'm glad you said those words. Thank you for that. And part of what we wanted to do tonight was to make sure that we did have that discussion in public, so that it wasn't just an executive session followed by all of a sudden we're asking for a meeting here. So that background was important to air publicly. we have a new council that will have their first meeting on November 14th, which is why I was kind of looking at you about the date to see if there's any flexibility there. So they will first be sitting up here on the 14th, and the only thing on the agenda that night is just organizational, setting up officers for the year.
So have the meeting that night?
No, that's the only thing I think we're meant to do on that night, according to our
Do you think that this
processes.
meeting needs to be a council night?
I-
Could it be a
It
special?
could be a workshop.
Yeah, I think that's all we need.
Yep. Yep. But I might suggest you give the council,
That council?
give the new council a day or two or a week or two to,
I mean, I have no idea who they're going to be, and I'm looking out at people who it might be, and I respect all of them and all of those who are running, and I'm grateful that they are. But, this is a decision that seems to me belongs to this council. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but this is the council that's lived through 22 Main. This is the one that's listened to the executive session. This is the one that has said, we would like to be excited by the ideas. The ideas will come out of the meeting, which will occur either before or just after the council's set, and they'll certainly make the decision about whether to go forward. But do we need them to actually set the date for the meeting?
no, I think we can set the date.
Oh, okay,
And say,
fine.
we can put it on the calendar. The new council may, who knows what they'll decide to do, but we can
that's
put it, yeah. What I'm suggesting is, I would put it on the calendar for maybe the third week in November, just before Thanksgiving.
Hallelujah.
Workshop on.
That's fine. And I think that the Mosers will be pleased that the council's moving that quickly with the understanding that the new council will be sitting at that time.
Yep. So are you okay with your modifying your motion to say,
Yes, that date, the date you picked.
You want to pick the Tuesday before Thanksgiving? That Thanksgiving week?
Don't you get in the way. You're not going to be here.
so the council,
I will still be here then. You're going to have to do with me, Ed.
I would suggest the 28th.
You can't because you have a meeting that night already. You have the shellfish workshop.
Oh, God. Oh, good.
So we don't have a lot of Tuesdays available. If we do the 21st, that's 2 days before Thanksgiving.
I can't make that date. I'm leaving town at 3 o'clock.
What did John say?
So
I'm
John,
leaving town at 3 o'clock that day to drive.
And you need a quorum of whatever council's in place at that time.
which would be the new
Well,
council.
there's going to be no vote. You don't need
Just a
quorum,
workshop, right?
Right.
Public meeting. You want a quorum of the council there.
I don't. I want to have the public meeting to give the people in this community a chance to come forward with their ideas about how to use the space. The councilors,
You don't have to do it on a Tuesday.
Oh, that's
You
true.
could switch. There's a, 14th election, you have the special meeting, there's a climate action
Election's the
workshop.
7th.
No, the
Oh,
7th.
7th.
14th is
The 14th
organizational.
is your meeting, there's a
Right.
climate action workshop that night already.
Yeah.
So you have the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, then you're already booked on the 28th, so you could pick a different date.
Yeah. I'm thinking either the Tuesday before Thanksgiving or, yeah. Why don't we do that, 21st? Tuesday before Thanksgiving?
Special meeting or special town council workshop?
Workshop, town council workshop, because we don't intend to vote on anything that night.
Okay.
That's the red.
Just one more thing. This idea came forward from basically a small group of people who are interested in taking this off the market for the town. They don't need to be the person or people in charge of anything. They'd be very happy to pass the concept on to the town council. They have asked me, though, to know whether or not you would like us, to help generate interest in the meeting on the 21st and get people who get the word out through town and the social media and other ways through organizations and present the idea as an opportunity for the entire community to comment on this, or whether you want to do that here with some other group of people. Because within that short period of time, there's got to be some effort, seems to me, some effort made to make the opportunity to comment available and understandable to the people who would comment.
I think the town needs to do its best to get the word out that this meeting is happening. We want as many people or as much input as we can get. This is,
Keep us in the loop. Then.
yeah.
Okay. They don't
I
want to be in the way.
No. I think any publicity driving people to the meeting is not bad publicity. Anything we can do to get more input on this, it's a big decision for the town. We shouldn't make it without a lot of public input. I think that was the consensus of the council when we talked about it. So just to be clear, Ed made the motion. We should probably second it and get it on the calendar officially. So there's a motion to have a workshop on the 21st added to the council calendar?
I move that we
At 6
schedule
p.m.?
a workshop on the potential uses of 22 Main Street property to inform the council about its judgments about whether to enter a purchase and sale.
Second?
Thank you, Councilor Daniele. All in favor of the 21st at 6
Aye.
p.m.? All right. You were- no.
Very much. But the cortisone just kicked in.
Oh.
All right, so my granddaughter's kickoff was 5 minutes.
No, you were having a heart attack or something.
I did have a personal thought, and I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to be here. But it's fine, thank you very much.
So while you're still on the dais, is there consent to adjourn the meeting? You might not have to, because that's the last item on.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Council Fournier. And Council, thank you, Councilor Bradley, for the second. All in favor? We are adjourned.
New town manager, that would be I'd like to have the meetings this long. This would be great.
Yes.
Second.
Jake did.